Two of Stephanie's retreats in less than a month? Yes, and this one was just as much fun as the first one. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. This week has been a little weird. With the storm that came through on Tuesday, we shifted our in office days, making everything feel a little weird with our schedules. My neighbor said we got 4 inches of rain during that storm, so it's a good thing red Georgia clay drained so well for the rain we got on Friday. Wednesday, on my friend Steven's channel of Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, we had our first episode of the social review. It was a lot of fun. It's a panel type live program that we did. We talked about our main goals for the year and a handful of other things, interacted with the audience. It was a lot of fun. Our next episode is going to be on February 14th, or as I call it, Singles Awareness Day, or SAD for short. And that one is going to be on my friend Stephanie's channel. I have a link to that down below if you want to go to the video and put a little notification on there. Although you should be like subscribed to all of our channels with notifications turned on. But, you know, that's just a little extra thing that you can do. Another thing that came up was, I believe it was Thursday, was my 4-year anniversary of the longest receipt that I've ever had. And no, it wasn't at CVS. When I bought my embroidery machine, which was just over 4 years ago, I was given a certain number of spools of thread I can get for free from the shop that I purchased it at. And then I said, you know, I want one of everything. So I bought one of every color of Glide. And as the receipt was printing and printing and printing, I kind of laughed a bit. I thought my 5-foot receipt from purchasing my washer and dryer was a little ridiculous because I used gift cards and every section of the receipt was about this long for each gift card. And then I had a Joann's receipt, which is like 6 foot long, because they had a sale on fat quarters. And like, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm making a lot of stuff, but I don't think I'm going to beat this long receipt in the future. On Saturday, I had my live 11Zs with Russ. I did a little mini tutorial on triangulations, which is some software that you can print out any size sheet of half square triangles and basically sew and then cut them out. It's similar to things like triangles on a roll or that, but you don't have to know in advance what size you need as long as your printer's working. More about that in a few minutes. I did some blue and white half square triangles using the blue grunge fat quarter bundle that we got in a previous Fort Worth Fabric Studio subscription box. And I got a handful of them done, and then I got a few more done later that evening. So I've got a bit of progress done on sewing those, but, you know, after I sew them, I got to get them cut, and, you know, me cutting, I get a little OCD with that. And then Saturday night, I just happened to be accidentally stalking the letter carrier, only because I was coming around the corner with Riley as he was driving in front of me, and he delivered my January subscription box from Fort Worth Fabric Studio. I did do a unboxing video for that, so if you haven't received yours, then you probably don't want to go look at that video yet. If you have received yours, or if you aren't a member of the subscription box and you want to go see what I received in it, there's a link in the video description below to it. I may also try to put a link right about here, somewhere up here. One day I'll get these directions up for you to click to go after it. This morning, I did discover that my long arm is 1 year old today for me. I had some photos show up in Time Hop, and seeing it is like, okay, I want to do more and more on it. The problem is, it still takes a lot of time to load it, and then I got to figure out the problems that I'm doing, but I probably can't figure out the problems unless I can reproduce them on a consistent basis to ask, what am I doing wrong? I do have a quilt currently loaded on it. It is the what is that thing? Cotton Cuts Village Green that I had done at Stephanie's retreat, her Georgia retreat. I have that loaded on the long arm right now. I just need to figure out a pantograph for it. So I'll be browsing pantographs for a little bit this evening, trying to find something perfect. And then today, Stephanie had an awesome retreat. I had a death in my printer, as I mentioned earlier, so I couldn't work on Shannon's pattern, which that was horrible because I loved the way everything looked, and I have some gorgeous fabric over here just waiting for her pattern. So I need to, get a replacement printer at some point so I can print out the foundation papers. I may try to bring a few sheets into the office on Tuesday morning, and hopefully they don't get destroyed on the way home. Then I can start working on it, but we will see what I'm able to do. For Stephanie's, I did get her entire quilt top completed for the pattern. The only reason I was able to complete it in the afternoon is because I started earlier in the morning. I couldn't work on Shannon's pattern, so I did start the pieces in Stephanie's pattern just a little bit early. It is a gorgeous pattern. I feel like she's probably going to have it up in her shop a little bit later in the week or month, but it's definitely worth a purchase if you weren't part of the retreat. Talking about the fur kids, because I know everybody enjoys those. Friday, I went to pick up Riley from daycare, and the manager said, I don't know what you did, but she was a lot better today. And I told her that I threatened Riley that if she kept biting tails of other dogs, that I'd start biting her tail. So I guess that kind of sunk in a little bit. I did notice that daycare increased their prices again. So I may have to start bringing Riley just a little bit less because, yeah, I did the math on how much that would be per year. And I'm like, that doesn't include what's in my raise. Percy has been his usual self as a cuddle bug. And if you don't believe me, in the scenes from the week, I will get to show you how not spoiled he is. What do I have for goals this week? The first thing is the quilt that is on my long arm needs to be quilted. It's actually on the long arm, so all I need to do is pantograph it and get it started. So that is a good thing that I need to do probably Monday. I want to have it done by Saturday sampler, which means I need to get the binding ready on and stitch. So that's gonna be a little bit. Hopefully I'll have a couple of evenings this week to get that handled. Goal number 2 is researching printers. I do definitely now need a new one more immediately. For the past 4 years, I think it's been, I've been making comments that, I kind of need a new printer, but it's not really pressing because I have a printer that works. I don't have a printer that works anymore. I've been looking at all-in-one printers, and I like the laser printers, mostly because it's a little bit harder for the toner to dissolve and lift off with doing foundation paper piecing than it is with inkjet printers. During the retreat today, somebody made a comment that their inkjet printer was starting to bleed into their fabric, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want that to happen. I'd been looking for printers that do ledger paper, which is 11 by 17, the big giant pieces. It's like 2 normal pieces of paper side by side. I kind of really want that, but I'm also trying to debate if it's really necessary. I haven't really done any foundation paper printing or foundation paper piecing printing that is that scale. I have a couple patterns that are that scale, but I haven't printed anything that's that scale. So I probably just need something that does legal size. Either way, I'm now in research phase, so I'm looking at a few things. A former coworker of mine gave me a couple good ideas. So, uh, I mean, I could bring newsprint to the office to print on, but it has that big risk of getting damaged on the way home. And then the final thing that I have on my goals this week is to sew more of the triangulations because, that's an easy pattern. It's mindless. I can sew it through. And it's just, an easy thing to get worked on until, I need to find something else to work on. So I can work on those until I run out of printed triangulations pages. And I don't know how long that's going to take. But again, I've just got a few days to figure out a printer. Then I can get something ordered. And then, I'll be back up and running, hopefully. I still got to figure out how to get rid of my current printer. But that's besides the point. I believe that's going to be about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel if you aren't already. I keep watching my numbers every now and then, and I am getting, inching closer and closer to that magic 1,000 number where YouTube starts to, take me serious as a content creator. Subscribing is free, and it just tells YouTube that you like my stuff and it helps me grow. I hope you have a great rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.